Hey folks, welcome to this month's Breaking Down the Mortgage. Good news for you. I'm not going to bore you with boring mortgage related items. Instead, I have something for you, something that you need to do in your life that will help you get where you want to go. I do need to give credit where credit is due. This came from my accountant, Haney and Company. Spring cleaning your finances, eliminating subscriptions and asset drift. Just went through some of that this quarter here, so I wanted to share a few things with you. Spring cleaning is usually associated with closets and garages and storage rooms and getting houses ready to list. But we want to spring clean our own finances. It's good to do a few times a year, and that's what this is about. And the first idea is subscription drift. And we all seem to be wrapped up with this with respect to all the streaming services and all the other things that we do, where money's just flying out the door every month. And so I just had to look at this myself. So example, if you have a subscription, it's 49 bucks a month. Doesn't seem really like much, but over the course of the year, it's like 600 bucks. Well, the problem is we have a bunch of these things and they're really adding up. So in my life, we just looked at what we're paying for YouTube TV. Also, my kid, who's now 23, he has an AI subscription to Claude that apparently I was paying for. And then he was also donating money to a Substack guy in the UK. That was another 8 or 10 bucks a month. So we got rid of that, made him pay for it, right? So look at your statements every once in a while. And the other thing that you can do that's helpful is when things are billed, a lot of times you can get a pretty deep discount if you pay annually instead of monthly. It's worth looking at doing that to save yourself some money there. So again, the goal is not to eliminate every subscription. It's just to ensure that each one delivers enough value to justify the cost. And then if you are going to keep them, to optimize the payment for it to as low as possible. Next up is dormant and overlooked assets. Just went through this myself. We had an old 529 plan. He's done with school, and we had a little bit of money in there. Was able to claw that back. Another fun one that you hear every once in a while, and you can do this. I would encourage you to do this now. Is go to Utah. Go to mycash.utah.gov and take 2 minutes and punch in your name. Old accounts, small brokerage accounts, uncashed checks, refunds. If they've sit at a financial institution too long, by law, they got to dump them back to the state. So just here in the state of Utah, these are small claims seemingly, but in Utah alone, it was $515 million is what they were able to give back in unclaimed property. Also do this for your family members. If you've got older parents or things like that, or other people that you know, punch in their name and you might be surprised that the state has some money for them. And it's an easy way to go do that and check that out. Also, gift cards are a big one. A lot of us have gift cards like in a glove box of our car or just in the drawers. Go through and grab those this time of year and see if you can't use some of those and save yourself some money. That's sort of a big deal. Next up is just reducing administrative drag. What does that mean? Well, update the beneficiaries. If you have outdated beneficiaries, if you have insurance policies like life insurance, things like that, generally they were done a while ago and it's time to update those. Also, you may not even need them at all. We had a little bit of whole life policy, and because our finances had changed, we ended up cashing that in and using it to pay a last semester of tuition for our kid. So see if those things still align in your life and what you're trying to accomplish. In addition, credit cards are also worth reviewing. All these cards generally charge an annual fee, or you might have more than a couple of them. We've gone to a system of just using one card. Here in Utah, it's the Delta, Sky Miles card to rally up Sky Miles for travel. That does justify the cost, but other cards, like if you're not using the rewards from them or whatever, there's really no point in having them around, especially if they cost you money. Now, don't close them if they, keep them open, but unless they're costing you a lot of money. If you don't use them, you can just kind of let them die on the vine. There's not a problem with that. The last thing though is your credit utilization. Again, that 30% rule. If the limit is, $10,000, you never want to be over 3,000. Always keep your balance on credit cards at or below 30% of the limit. That'll help keep your credit scores high. So what's in it for you? The doing a short financial review every year, it empowers you. It gets you to keep your finances in order. Um, any unused subscriptions can be eliminated or optimized. If you forget any assets, they can be recovered. Insurance and credit card accounts can be aligned with your current needs. I think it's good information to have, and it's good to take a little bit of time to review this stuff because it puts you in a better place financially, and it also restores your clarity, which is worth value. So, hope this has been helpful. If you've made it this far, as always, thanks for watching. If there's anything else I can help you with, please reach out. Never too busy for you or any of your referrals. Have a great month, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.